All right, we're live. Thank you very much for showing up. Welcome to the channel. This is the second session of the ongoing Mage Chronicle I have. So I'm going to start with a small summary of what happened last session. So the Chronicle is set in Montreal, and it's during the fall of the current year, and at present time, and it's a tough time for the city. There's a whole neighborhood that's been under quarantine, and military forces are there. There's a lot of police repression going on in the city because a lot of the public opinion is against that situation going on. So there's a lot of mobs of protestation going down the street of the city in this late November of 2015. The PCs are a bunch of students from McGill University, and they are all students in the same math class, Professor Gallagher maths class, which is a well-known mathematician in the academia. And they have been sent a message from the assistant teacher that they should show up to a meeting to discuss some of their work that they've been producing during the class. They showed up to that meeting, and then the Professor Gallagher and Rashid, his assistant, started to talk to the PCs to the characters about this old Ascension War thing going on, and this, behind the curtain situation where there's a whole culture, magic mages culture going on behind the curtain of reality, and that since that they've shown some particular keen intellect and a keen expression of the mathematics in their work, they were invited to participate in that world. So they talked about them saying that the university is divided into two camps: the Verbena on one side, dealing with the humanities aspect of the academy, and then the Order of Hermes on the other side, dealing with the more scientific aspect of knowledge. And in order to get the characters' feet wet, Rashid, Professor Gallagher's assistant, offered them to come to a Verbena party, which will become an initiation party for the Verbena new member. So the Verbena are about to introduce a new member into their tradition, and they threw a party about that. And one of the rules in the Council of the Nine, which Rashid described to the character in that session, is that the other tradition need to witness that initiation in order to approve the way it happened. And this is where we are. This is where the session ended last time, where the character were about to enter the party. Now, so today we're going to start with Valis, and so let's get it going.
So last time we saw Valis fleeing from the meeting and the building, and he encountered his avatar, the Great Eye, and he flipped out, and we met him as he traveled home. And so now we meet him again as he's entering the door to his flat, and Valis slams the door behind him as he charges into his apartment, and his feet clack coldly on the hardwood floor. He darts straight for the bathroom and fumbles with his pocket as he slumps down onto the toilet, again reaching for comfort from his pills. But then he realizes he's already dumped them in a moment of panic before he has spilled all of the pills, and he remembers that he has another bottle stashed in the cupboard above the sink. And so he reaches for those, and he pops 1, 2, 3. He doesn't remember how many pills he pops. He sits and he breathes heavily as the panic does not go away but intensifies. And the whole building around him seems to pulse, like the pulsing of a heart. And he charges. He rises to his feet now. The feeling of panic rising within him as well, and he begins grabbing things on his sink and slamming them to the ground. He smashes his razor into the mirror. It shatters in a million pieces, sending glittering particles of dust all over the bathroom, the greasy green stained tile floor. And he travels back into the main room of his studio apartment, and now he's slamming books. He's taking the bookshelves and throwing them helter-skelter onto the floor, the books spewing all over the place. He's flipping his bed now, his mattress, onto the floor, and he's screaming as he does this. The screams echo through his apartment building, and he's just smashing and grabbing and slamming everything he can, kind of Orson Welles-like. He is his own Charles Foster Kane, in a manner of speaking. And when everything is smashed and broken, he pushes all of this material up against his door to create a great blockade. And then he hears a soft knock on the door, but he's too afraid to answer. He looks out the peephole and he sees the face of the man he met earlier, who seemed to have the key to the answer for the great equation with the circles. But he's still too afraid to answer. And when the man leaves, finally, exhausted, he unpiles all of the stuff he's piled in front of the door, and he opens the door and he finds a note on the front of the door, and he reads it. And Tim, it's the note that your character left, and he sees the instructions about going to the club, and he knows he needs to find you, and so he decides that he's going to go meet up with you, and so he finds a bus. It is late, but he's able to wait in the rain for a while. He takes the bus and heads to the club.
As you flip the note over, you see that it's on the back of it is written drawings similar to like the ones that you had seen before, that he had been drawing on his notepad that you snatched away. So it was a series of circles that are intersecting each other, and lines coming off of each of them intersecting with the other circles. There's also a triangle near the middle of the shape, and two of the points are overlapping two of the circles.
So as he's sitting on the bus heading to the club, he traces his finger on this triangle, and it seems to calm him better than the pills ever did.
The bus is going down the city, and it's late at night, and you know, there's a lot of traffic downtown, and the bus is going to leave you at the Berry-UQAM station, which is the downtown station, not so far from McGill station. This is where the Area 51 After Hours is. It's in a really trashy, tacky neighborhood. It is downtown. A lot of people with money walk down the street, no problem. People well and fancy dressed is walking down the street, no problem, mixing with the drug dealers and the police, you know, driving slowly in the streets with their window down, yelling at the squeegees and yelling at the punks on the streets. And you walking in that kind of crowd, and you see the Area 51 After Hours lineup first, and sign a little further down the street. As you walk toward downtown to reach that spot, before you reach that spot, you need to go across St. Catherine Street, and the street is filled with people with signs and horns, and people are screaming, no, 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 we don't want repression. No, 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 we don't want. And the mob is screaming. The street is filled with people. There must be on every corner. There must be 500 people stack up on one another, just going down the street. It's like a river of people, just a torrent going down the street in front of you. And to reach the Area 51, you need to go across that. There is police doing barricades as the mob is walking west on the street.
So as Valis crosses the street, he hears the clang and the clamor, and he clutches the note tightly in his palm. He looks at the crowd, and he thinks he sees for a moment their faces transfigured into the faces of corpses, dark blues, blood stained across their faces, broken noses, sunken eyes, teeth shattered, and they seem to march forward like an unending mob of the dead. And he hurries on. He shudders his face from this view with his other hand.
As you walk across that crowd of corpses and people that looks like decay, they're trying to grab you, their hand touching you and just tearing at your clothes as you walk across.
No, get off of me! Get away! Get off of me! And he brushes them away as quickly as he can, but they seem to keep grabbing in his shirt, tugging at his collar, choking him now. Get off of me! You won't help me. I need to get on. I need to get forward. This isn't helping. The eye. I must find the eye.
And then, and as you keep going, you go across the people, and you don't see the other side. All you see is just the mob, people, corpses, just bunch of kind of like just endless crowd of people. And the more you go, the more you walk forward, the taller they get.
The corpses stretch above him. They seem to grow. The stink of rotting flesh and flies just seem to permeate the whole of the crowd. They're pressing in on him now, and he pushes through, creating a channel as he fights through, grabbing his umbrella from his pocket. He pushes against them, using it as a baton, smashing them now, crushing in skulls, hacking down arms. They're falling around him like dead soldiers. He pushes through.
And then instead of grabbing you now, they start pushing you. And they start pushing you, and then they push so hard, and they are just this big mob pushing you. You start like lifting above the ground, and you're not even touching the ground anymore. And then and
a wave of corpses. He's now floating on a wave of corpses, and they wash him up to the front of the club and dump him into the door entrance.
As you stumble on the floor of the club, there's a hand grabbing you by behind your shirt, standing you up. It's this big, tall, black guy, muscular guy. He looks like he's on steroid. He has a tattoo on his face. He has piercing in his nose and in his eyebrows, and he has this big black jacket, like trench coat with a black scarf around his neck. He's wearing a earbud in his ear with a spiral cord that comes behind it, and he looks like he's like, "Hey, dude, buddy, calm down. What are you on right now? I mean, this is not a way to behave in front of people. This is respectable after hour."
I'm clean, man. I'm clean. And as he looks into Valis's bloodshot eyes, he looks anything but clean. But somehow he does calm himself down and straightens his red bow tie that he always has on. I'm okay. I'm looking for this man, one of my friends.
Well, buddy, calm down, buddy. Listen, I see people come through that door all night. I can't tell you. I don't know. All I need you to do is to be calm,
Yes.
to stop making a scene. Just go at the end of the line, and in about an hour, 45 minutes, if everything goes well, you're gonna show up again, and I'm gonna let you in. But you need to be at the end of the line.
Line. Oh, yes, yes, I see that now. Uh, yes. So,
He has his hand on your shoulders, this big ass hand, like big like your head.
uh, Valix carefully grabs one of his thick, meaty fingers and unpries it from his shoulder. Yes, I will get in. I will find the back of the line. There's no need for violence. Everything's fine here. And he works his way back out, and people are just looking at him like he's, they're mad because he kind of cut in front of them, and he doesn't quite know how he got here into the front. He's everything is a fading memory now. Corpses he doesn't remember, and now he's entering the real world again. And he pushes his way back to the end of the line.
And all you hear in the background is the noise of the mob chanting and screaming against repression and the police in the back. Meanwhile, Rashid has been leading the way inside the after hours. He went to the black bouncer, talked to him, and show him a little pass, and the black bouncer make you guys enter VIP. As you guys enter, you leave your jacket at the door where there's a locker room kind of thing, where there's a girl behind a little door like this. There's a little sign saying tips, with a red light flashing. In the back, you can hear the loud music, sounds like some techno music, really, really loud, and the old building is vibrating from it. It smells like Tiger Balm and Vicks in this place. And as you guys give some tips to the girl, she gives you a ticket, and she put your jacket on the ring, and then she put it in the big locker room at the entrance, and so you can pick it up as you leave. The people are walking inside the after hour. It's really dark, and the only lighting there is a red lighting. It's signed like red crosses on the ceiling, and then it's a long black corridor that goes down with a really, really gentle descending angle, really gentle, but you can feel it when you walk. You get to walk faster, and then the stump of your feet match the and the vibration is getting higher and higher, and as you guys get down deeper and deeper, it's a really long descending thing. It feels like you're going down into like the basement of the place, and then on the left it takes a long curve, and then boom, it opens up on this gigantic diamond shaped room that has like 3 mezzanine, long stairs that go down. It's an ancient theater, so the idea is that you have like chairs that go up like that, and you guys arrive at the top of the seats that go down, and then in the middle there's the dance floor. At the back end, in front of you, at the point of the diamond, there is a mezzanine, and there is some kind of a suspended by chain structure, and the DJ's on it. And the place has been decorated with like a jungle style approach to it. And there's like flower that are like coming out of the ceiling, and some Tarzan rope. I don't know in English how you say that, but stuff like that that are coming down. Yeah, there go vines. Gigantic vines are coming down the ceiling, and then some people are attached to them, and they are like trapezes. They do a trapezes move, and they throw themselves at one another of these vines, and they make moves in the air. People are dressed in a tribal fashion. The music that plays in the back is some techno tribal with no lyrics on it. It has a drum bass line that goes really, really fast, and some hi-hats that has that almost sounds like birds singing through the music. The place is crowded, jam-packed with people dancing on the dance floor down the stairs. Some people are chit-chatting, and hanging out in the seats surrounding the dance floor, going up like that. As you guys arrive on top, Rashid turns around and goes. He's screaming to you guys because the sound of the music is so loud. This is something like, "Listen, we're about to meet Clarice. Clarice she's a disciple from the Verbena. We're supposed to meet her here. I know her well. She's gonna show up anytime soon. We need to talk with her. She's not a person. So listen, I'll be hanging at home. Fun, live a little bit, take a drink on the bar. You see the bar is there. Meet me up here in 15 minutes." And as he tells you this, really, he's already like dancing as he tells you this and screaming, and he has this big smile, and the lighting of the place is red. So his skin looks red, his eyes, it's like there's a black in the thing, and one of his eyes is green, one of his eyes is blue, so he has like one of his eyes yellow and the other one is kind of dark, and it creates that weird effect on his face. And when he smiles to you, his teeth look golden under the lighting, and then he keeps dancing like that, and then he grabs a light stick and put it in his mouth, so he has like some kind of a mouth little light stick thing going on, and then the golden teeth become blue when he smiles.
Okay, creepy. So, Aline just goes into the nearest bar, gets some drink, and starts zoning everything out, back into his chair, and just looking from the monitors to actually see the party. So, fuck that noise. Next.
Stephen starts to dance very slightly as he watches Rashid leave, thinking to himself, "That man Rashid is so good looking, it's not fair. It's just not fair, the man's too handsome." But nonetheless, Stephen looks at the bar and thinks, maybe it's a better idea to stay sober tonight.
Jessica is behind you. She's dressed to kill. She has the pants, and she under her jacket she has like this really suit and loose shirtless blouse thing, bottom up with and then she tied up her hair on top of her head, so the shoulders are well engaged, and you see the whole her neck, really skinny neck, and she's on her skin that we continue, and she's dancing a little bit, and she goes, "Do you like dancing, or you want to dance with me? Have a drink, something?" And then she's yelling,
Yo, it's almost impossible to hear you when you've got the pictures up.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
Can't hear what you're saying with the picture.
she's dressed to kill. She has some skinny leather pants with some high heel shoes that match with it, and she has a blouse with a sleeveless blouse, bottom up to the top, almost transparent, that you can see her bra under it. The bra is adjacent to the rest of the thing of her outfit, and she has her hair tied up up her head, so the shoulders are clear and you see the neck, and she has some glitter on her skin that you can tell by the lighting now. And then she's dancing and she's smiling and she's behind you, Stephen. And then she says, "Oh, I like to dance. Do you want to dance with me a little before we meet with Rashid? I like to party. I want to have fun tonight."
Yeah, it can't hurt, can it? So Stephen falls into rather a groovy but understated dance, and Jessica may pick up on the fact that he's not really having fun. He's very distracted. He has no clear expectations about tonight, but he is hoping to see something that'll help explain how his world's been turned upside down. And so he finds it quite difficult to let go in that way that one must in order to dance properly.
She danced with you for a couple minutes. She's all smiling and she's doing like 360 turns on herself and spins, and she turns and she goes on the side. She has good rhythm, so it's really not awkward at all. It's really sensual and sexy. And then she grabs your hand and then she makes you turn a little bit. She's trying to cheer you up and down, and then she's dancing around you in a really smooth fashion.
It's not long before Stephen can't help but lose his trepidation in the presence of our charms. And before long, he's completely forgotten what he's doing here or why he came, and just enjoying our company and our leather pants.
So Eric quickly realizes he's become kind of a third wheel in this whole place, right at this particular location, and he got some flashbacks from that night at the Roxbury movie where two guys dancing on either side of a girl. So he kind of rushes off, well, not rushes, but he kind of moves very quickly off towards one of the very colorfully lit bars to try to flag down a drink from one of the bartenders.
The bartender is a man, shirtless man. He has some tribal tattoos. It's a white dude, but he has dreads that are really long and really like going back of his head like that. He has like a bandana here and so just holding up the whole thing. So it's like the hair is bigger than the skull kind of thing. And he's really tall, really athletic, muscular. He's looking at you, and he has like he has some on his face. When he gets closer, there is some kind of a tribal tattoo, but glow in the dark thing. So he's looking at you and saying, "Well, so what can I do for you? What do you want? What can I serve you, my man?"
So I lean in close to him and yell, "Yeah, give me a red rum! I had one of those the last time I was here!"
And then he kind of gives you a thumbs up. He turns around, he shakes up the thing, pitches it in the air, and then at the moment when he pitched the thing in the air, one of the female that is dressed in like a some of the people who are hanging from the vines from the ceiling that are doing the trapeze move and stuff, they're dressed in leaves. And the female that comes around, she has a leaf bikini thing, and then she arrives right at this moment. She grabs the mixer and she throws it to the other guy that comes on the vine, grabs the mixer, flip it a little, pitch it in, throw it in the air again. The other dude that comes, he's holding the other girl by the hand and pitch her in the air. She does a couple backflip, grab the mixer, keep backflipping, grabs the other vine, and then she passes right above the bar, drops it, and in a swift motion, the guy behind the bar spins on himself, grab the mixer in his back, flip it again, finish the drink in front of you, and you have this red-ish glowing thing just filling up the glass in front of you, and then he says, "Got you $5."
I pull out a tin and put it on the bars. "You put Tom Cruise to shame!"
He said, "Thanks, my brother," and then he grabs it and he keeps dancing. He's like, "Ooh." And then the music keeps going like crazy. The DJ is on this suspended platform, at the end of the diamond-shaped room, and it's like an albino black man that has like this. He has these really long hair, but it's not dreads. It's I don't have the name in English, but he has this really long hair that are spinning over his head. They are white, and he's dressed in some kind of a big poncho thing, African poncho thing, and he looks naked under it, and he's dancing behind the music, and he's you know, putting some music, and then the break comes in, boom, and then he kind of flip a button on the table, and then he gets back, opens his arm like that, and the music go boo. So there's no drum anymore, no rhythm, just boo, and everybody in the room just go wah, screaming and screaming, and everybody goes kind of like in slow motion, and the beat of the music is changing, and the rhythm of the whole room is changing, and the lighting becomes just darker at the same time. So everything is in motion. It becomes boom, and the light goes. At this moment, I'd like everybody to roll awareness and perception. Difficulty 7.
Three successes on my end.
One here.
I think I just had one success. It'd have to be 5 or above, right?
7.
It's diff 7.
Oh, 7. Okay, then I definitely just had one success.
All right, so I'm going to start the narration. I'm going to let you finish. As the light goes darker and the sound becomes for a long time, there is some kind of a sensuous sound that starts to, you know, mix up with the continuous vibration of the new sound that the DJ is putting on. And then suddenly the DJ has his hand open, and then he claps his hand like that, and he starts rubbing them like that over the turntables, and then he makes the music spin, and then suddenly in the back, really far in the music, in the sound that he's producing, we start to hear a humming, a small, and then, you know, like a crescendo, really long and really slow crescendo. There's a new rhythm that starts building up, and then he's dancing and he's holding. You see, he's holding it on the turntable. He's holding it, and the crowd goes crazy. And then, boom, the lights open, really bright. And at this moment, the vibration in the room starts to show. The music coming out of the speakers looks like long, like wave of continuum that glitters red, yellow, and green, and the notes of the music are actually, you know, taking form within that stream that gets out of the speaker, and that stream just mix up with over the crowd with all kinds of stream coming out of all the different speakers, and then it creates like waterfalls of like musical notes over the crowd, falling on people like rain. And these notes are like yellow, golden, red, green, blue, purple, all kinds of color, and it stains like paint on people. So it's like paint is falling from the sky on the people as the people are dancing in that thing. So it creates that big splash of music, and then you can see the note floating in the air and like you know, like a soap bubble, you know, towards you and the people in the room.
Yeah. Well, Alin is looking. Well, outside of, in reality, he's at the bar drinking a bit of vodka. Well, in his head, he's looking at the transparent screens, and he sees all of this, and he's like, "Do I have an error in my OS? I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to happen. He looks and examines the whole things that appeared on his multiple screens, and it's like, huh, something is off. He examines the notes and how they vibrate, and it's as if, did I do something, or is this act? And he thinks of a big ass equation that goes from actual mathematics into code that you'd introduce in a math lab, and he sees all the strings of code that he would think, and multiple strings of code appear on the screen. How can this be possible? And how would that occur? And uh, yes, at that point he reflexively activate prime. No, he'd activate forces to actually examine the waves better. So give me a diff ST.
Okay. I didn't understand what you're saying. So what do you want to do exactly? What is your intention?
Yeah, activating forces site to examine the sound waves a bit better.
Oh, all right. So it IS the sphere +3.
Yeah, which is 1 plus 3, so it's diff 4. Okay, cool. Boink. I have one success. It activates. So he's looking at all of these things and waves, and he notices that this isn't a natural occurring phenomenon, not by a long shot. The way they're vibrating and how they're vibrating and how it's presented, the whole texture, someone else made it for some odd reason. This isn't a normal occurrence in his day-to-day life. This is more like someone here in the crowd did this, and he's looking at the monitors to try to pinpoint the source of this disturbance.
And the monitors are showing you the turntables.
Steve,
Go ahead.
Stephen, you look through the crowd, and as you do, you catch a glimpse of a face. Just a split second, and you think you see the face of your old master. You think you see the face of your old master.
Wait.
What the hell is he doing here? This isn't his sort of scene. And Stephen,
you hear him. You see his lips move, but you don't hear a sound from his mouth. You hear it in your mind. You hear your name.
Stephen starts moving through the crowd towards the place where he's seen the master. He must have some reason for being here. Does he know about the verbena?
I can feel the tension inside you. You hear the voice again say in your head. I can feel the tightness within you, Stephen. You need to relax, and you need to give yourself over to the beat. You need to let your arms and your legs sway in motion to the music.
What the hell? Voices in my head? Sway with the music? Am I having a stroke? And Stephen starts to push his way through the crowd to try and get to the place where he'd seen the master.
As you push through, you see his face turn, and as you reach for the coat of the man gently dancing. You grab on his shoulder, but as he turns, it's a man with a beard. It is not your master. And you're just left with the words that he said to you.
But the man that you're grabbing is with a beard is dancing with a girl, and you notice it's Stacy. And when you notice her, she looks at you, surprised, and she's like, oh, and she's kind of ashamed, and she's looked back at the man with the beard, and she's looking back at you, and she's looking back, and then she kind of just look at you, and all surprised. The sound is so loud in the middle of the dance floor, and she goes like,
Stacy, hi.
It's like, I can't hear you. Hi, how you doing?
Hi. I'll catch you later. Maybe I'll see you at the bar.
No, oh, no problem. And then she goes back to dancing with the man. The dude in question looks like a normal dude. He has a beard, a shaved head with a mohawk. But it's not. When you look to the side, it's like a mohawk, but he has a little thing in the back, little bump of air that comes out in the back. He's dressed like he's shirtless. He has some tattoos. He's muscular. He's all oily. He's like all shiny in the music, and he's dancing with light sticks. He's like, he's wearing he's wearing army pants, and when he sees you, he's smiling at you. He's like, and then he keeps dancing with Stacy, getting closer to her.
Well, Stephen pats him on the elbow as if to say cheerio, and as he turns away, he thinks, what's she doing with that fucking moneyless punk? The clothes he was wearing. Those boots must have cost less than $10. Fucking prick. And Stephen thinks back to when he's seen the master, but finds it difficult to take his words on board because now he's fucking furious. And then remembers, wait a minute. It was only minutes ago I was dancing with Jessica. Maybe I'm being a bit possessive here. After all, I've not seen Stacy in weeks. She's free to do what she likes. And Stephen heads back towards the bar, I think. He's waited long enough, time for a drink.
So as you sit down to the bar, Stephen, you hear another voice. It's the voice of a friend you used to work with, but it is not your friend. You know what this voice is. It's the voice of your own fears. It's the voice of your own jealousies and anxieties. Are you just going to give up that easy, Stevie boy? You think that you think you have a chance with a girl like that? Nah? You really think she would go for someone as pathetic and worthless as you?
Well, she did before.
At this moment, Jessica shows up next to you in the bar, and she's smiling at you. She's dancing to the music, and she's smiling and she's dancing and she's looking at you, just like next to the bar.
Hey. Stephen tries to conceal his his confusion. He tries to conceal his confusion, and dances while he waits to be served, trying to occasionally make eye contact with her and with the bar staff, which is no easy feat in a crowded bar. Can I get you a drink, Jessica?
She said, "Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, have you seen the music? Have you seen the notes floating in the air and the painting on the walls and the splashing and stuff? I think it's the DJ who does it. I've seen the things coming out, and it's making sense with the way he moves and stuff."
You see it too?
Yeah,
I can see it too.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Brilliant, excellent.
It's amazing. She's all happy, and she's all happy, and she's covered in the paint from the note, and then as a note is floating by just like soap bubble. She kind of just like show her chest to it, and she receives it in the middle of her blouse, and it goes explode in your face and in her face, and she's like, ooh.
Okay. Stephen's kind of got a gentle hold of their elbows, and as they're discussing, both having seen the notes, he's almost jumping up and down with excitement. He's thrilled to be sharing that experience with someone else, because over the last few weeks, as he's been seeing similar yet different things all over the place, he got the feeling that he was the only one, and this was isolating. And so he's thrilled and excited to know someone else can see this kind of stuff, and he's quite ecstatic.
What's going on with Eric?
So as soon as all these things start happening, Eric just completely freezes. He's like a statue standing there with his drink in hand because he's almost ready to take a drink, and his eyes are just looking up at these colors and these lights and these bubbles come crashing down on everyone. And it's like everything else around him just like darkens. He doesn't see it anymore. It's like it's not, the vibrancy and the color and brightness has dropped out. The sound of everything else, the people dancing and talking, it's like it's muted and muffled, and it's all like everything is slowed down a little bit, like he's in his own little world looking up at this whatever it is that's happening. And he starts getting some heart palpitations, and he starts hyperventilating a little bit, and he's just looking up at all these things, and he rubs his eyes with his hands, and then he looks down at his drink, then he just shakes his head, and then he starts getting some flashbacks of memories. He sees his father being dragged out of the house with a straitjacket on him, sees another picture of his father, his hair just all completely in a mess, just painting red lines on the wall from the day that he was committed, and he's just sitting there transfixed on all these things, and he just starts frantically looking around for anything else around him, and he's just noticing all this weirdness, this bizarre lights and bubbles that are falling down, and he doesn't know what to make of it. He's almost in a state of panic.
On your shoulder, Eric, you feel an arm, a hand, grabbing you. Now as you're sinking into the ground, you're sinking to your knees, but you feel an arm pull you up, and you turn, and you look and you see the face of Valis, and there's sweat along his brow, and he seems to be gesticulating, trying to say something to you, but you can't hear what he's saying, but you do feel him pulling you back up to your feet.
Yeah, you feel a bit of a cold, as if something here is producing a bit of a cold sweat somewhere in the back of your mind, as if you see all of these shapes, all of these forms that shouldn't be, that are part of this particular area, but they do not subscribe to reality as you know it, as you see it. It's as if you see the birth of a new universe starting, as if a song that's being sung by a divine entity, and lights flicker and change, sounds begin to dampen but get louder. It's a cacophony that doesn't have any rhyme or reason, as if chaos is everywhere. And slowly but surely, you're helped by Valis to get a bit away from this chaos, this entropy of a birth of an idea, of a universe of shapes and sizes that form and change with each note that you hear, with each color that is a bit faded out. And it's as if only Valis is there as a normal beacon, a light within a dark tunnel in which to get you back to reality.
As he slowly starts easing, his heart palpitations slow down a bit, and his sweat starts to decrease on his brow, and he stops and he looks down at his drink, and he just kind of looks up at Valis, almost like he's not even sure if he's really there. He's more like he's talking to himself. He says, "It's all inconsequential." And he just swallows his drink whole, puts it down on the bar, and starts rushing off towards the bathroom.
The more you go to the bathroom, it's as if the steps you make are steps on water, as if you're going slowly but surely into deeper and deeper pond, and you do not see any light within it. But then you touch the doorknob of the bathroom itself, and it's just another bathroom. Nothing truly special about it.
And he walks into the bathroom, and there's another man in there at the urinal, and he just starts talking. He says, probability, the chances, the likelihood, everything evolves into entropy. Everything unravels. It's only inevitable. He's not really looking at anyone or anything, and he's just kind of standing in the middle of the bathroom saying these things kind of to himself, but out loud.
Yeah, you feel a bit cold, as if you're catching a fever. You're not sure. Maybe it's a virus that you caught at one point. Maybe it's just your own inner fears and expectations of everything because you have that memory of your father. You might just become him. You're not sure. It doesn't matter anymore.
And just kind of reflexively, he reaches out and he opens his eyes and his mind, and he can see the strings unraveling off of everything, all the tendrils of everything. And he reaches out and grabs onto him like a security blanket, like a safety line, and he's just pulling on the remnants, the tatters of the fabrics of everything around him.
You touch that line, you feel as if everything gets colder and colder. The thing that you touched is just dust. Very, very chill to the touch. As if you're slowly but surely catching hypothermia. Are you okay?
And he just looks around when he hears that voice.
Yeah, it was just an elderly gentleman there. Hey, dude, are you okay?
Yeah, yeah. I was just, it was just intense. There was just a lot happening. I just needed a moment to take a breather.
Yeah, sure. Uh, Go check yourself out. You're sweating a lot. Here, have a tissue. And he gives you a box of tissues.
He looks at him kind of apprehensively, and he takes one. Then he walks over to the mirror where they have other paper towels, and he looks. He's completely blanched. His face is, all the pallor and the color has gone out of his face, and his eyes are just wide, and he's just like, his hair is drenched in sweat, and he starts wiping his hair down, trying to gather himself together.
And as you look into the mirror, it's as if you're seeing something in the distance. Something that may or may not be there. As if something is looking back at you, but it doesn't have any conclusive shape or size. It doesn't have a form.
And he just freezes when he feels this, and Eric is just looking into the mirror, trying to find whatever it is that's looking at him, that's seeing him, and he's trying in vain to see it in turn.
Yeah, and the closer and closer, that thing becomes your own face. That everything just falls back into what should be reality, and you see who you truly are. You see your face.
And as soon as he sees his own face, it's just like all the darkness of everything around him just like brightens up, all the sound that was distorted and dropped down. It just goes back up to normal tempo and normal sound. It's like just like a wave, and almost knocks him over. and then he just gathers himself and he just looks around, just like he's just woke up, and he just pulls himself together and he walks out of the bathroom and starts walking back towards the bar. He's looking for Rashid the whole time.
As you walk out, you see Valis brush past you on his way into the bathroom, and you hear muffled barfing sounds as he makes his way into one of the stalls.
I stop and kind of spin on my heels as I see him rushing by me and going into the bathroom. I hear the barfing sounds. I have the door halfway open. Then when I hear the barfing sounds, I slowly close the door, start walking back towards the bar.
At the bar, when you come back to the bar, Eric, you see Rashid, and Rashid is not alone. He's with this really tall, really nice looking girl. She has she's wearing like some linen pants, really like wide linen pants, and a really skinny top that kind of stick to his breast. Her breast. She has a really she has like a big breast, really athletic. She has long black hair, and she's smiling, and her and Rashid are talking, and they smile. She kind of put her hand on his chest, and they giggles together, dance a little bit, and then they turn around, and when they see you, they stop talking, they look at you, going like, and Rashid is like,
Did you freeze?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
I
missed the
froze?
last part of what you said there.
oh, I said when Eric arrives at the bar, the lady, the black lady with Rashid, they turn around, they look at you, and as they're smiling and laughing together, they kind of say, they kind of point you and you're going.
So, as I'm drawing close to them, I just walk up to them, and I'm just look like I'm still trying to contain myself. I'm looking at Rashid, and I'm looking around at everything to try to see if the bubbles are still falling and all the strange things are happening. He says, "Did you see these things? Did you see it? Did you see it?"
Oh, of course I've seen it. Like I told you, it would be a great experience to come over here. We'll be able to see it together as a group, and I'm pretty sure your friends saw it too. How do you feel about it?
What is it? What's happening? I don't know what's happening. I thought I was just going crazy. And that when he hears that they were actually seeing it also, he starts breathing a little more easily.
The girl that is next to you, she says, "He's good, isn't it? I'm telling you. DJ Karma is the bomb. He's the bomb. And then she turns around, she said, I'm Clarice Montplaisir. Nice to meet you."
Clarice, nice to meet you. And it's like he's just kind of having a difficulty sorting everything. He's trying to focus on what was happening, but then he's hearing names of someone else, so he stops and he introduces himself. Yeah, my name is Eric. Clarice.
She, she grabs your hand, and she shakes your hand in a gentle fashion, big smile on her face, really gentle eyes. She's gorgeous. She's from out of this world. And she looks at you. She said, "Yeah, actually, to Rashid, he's preparing the crowd. He's preparing the crowd for the event tonight. We have a big initiation tonight, and so I've heard that you and some of your friends are here to witness the initiation and she turns around. She looks at me. Are they already in the? All of this is happening like screaming loud because the music is loud. But next to the bar is less. It's hearable. Are they already in the order? Or did they have their initiation already? What's going on? And Rashid is just dancing and nodding, saying no with his head. So she turns around to you and she says, "Yeah, like I said, DJ Karma he's preparing the crowd. He's just prepping the crowd, and he's really good. He's really good. He's the best. He's the best." And then she dances a little, looking at you, smiling.
So is everyone here in on it?
Oh, of course not. Of course not, my friend. Of course not. Just a bunch of us. You'll see in a couple minutes when we get the initiation going. You'll see how it goes. Just a couple of us, of course.
I go back over to the bar and I order another drink. And I sit down and just try to continue gathering myself.
So about this time, Valis comes out of the bathroom, and he wipes his face off. But as he looks at the crowd, he doesn't see any of these notes or any of this strange lights. In fact, what he sees is everyone standing perfectly still, and there's no music whatsoever. There are no lights. It's just people standing and people looking at each other. And every once in a while, someone will whisper, and then the whispers grow in clusters of whispers. And the whispers grow louder and louder until the whole room is just a whole clatter of whispers.
And for some reason, as if Aline just, I don't know, got bored of calculating everything and thought maybe I should ask someone to make sense of all of this to me. He goes over and sees Rashid talking to that woman that he was talking to, kind of like half looking, half trying to understand what they're saying. So he goes in closer and says, "Hey, so when can I ask questions about the thing?"
What thing are you talking about? Are you enjoying yourself, Aline? I see you alone in your corner. You look in your computer thing. Don't you dance a little? Don't you drink a little? Don't you partake?
I was drinking, mind you. How did you see them? He's curious because in the real world he was just drinking alcohol all the time and looking, but in his mind, in his the mesne, the dream realm of his, he was on his computers. So he's like, "How did you see what I saw?"
Oh, I see. I can see a lot of things. I can see a lot. I know what you're doing. Don't think we don't see what's happening. But this is not the truth to Clarice. This is what we to you about. And then she turns around and he introduces you to Clarice, and she smiles at you. She says, "Hi, my name is Clarice. My name is Clarice. I'm a disciple of the Verbena. I'm working with Professor Jean Melançon. We're here for the initiation tonight. How are you?"
Oh, I'm Aline. I'm getting myself slowly but surely very, very drunk.
Oh, I can see that. How cute.
Yes. At least that's how I find myself a bit more relaxed while being very, very drunk.
No, I see, I see. And but do you still enjoy yourself? I mean, do you like the music? Do you like what's going on?
Out of character, sorry man. I'm trying to hear you, but you keep on breaking up.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm breaking. She's smiling. She said, "Oh, nice, that's really nice. Well, don't get too drunk because tomorrow you will regret it." And she smiles, and dancing a little bit next to you to the bar, on the bar.
Uh, he smiles back as if he knows he will regret it, but it will be continuing to get drunk regardless. It's a Romanian thing. So to him, it's like, so what? I've been at the class drunk. So he's just smiling and continues moving his body in a rhythmic fashion, also known as slowly dancing, but not, with visible motions, just keeping up to a beat. Although in his mind, he's actually hearing another song entirely. Because he's like, fuck that noise.
There's a flashing light on your heads-up display that lets you know that Daisy has a message for you.
Tick tick. Read message.
Caution, Master. Alcohol degrades my circuitry. Please refrain from becoming too drunk.
Don't worry. I know my limit. I'm just getting myself happy, not a blackout drunk.
You must also be cautious of these strange people. There are several anomalies operating within the vicinity, and they are all of an unknown quality.
Hmm. So you think so too? I thought that especially this Rashid fellow seems particularly suspicious.
Caution is advised.
Will do. Keep me posted.
Commencing scans.
And he returns to, slowly moving to the rhythm of the dance, waiting for someone to actually answer his questions. So he's just wandering around, trying to use his blessings that he has been bestowed upon birth to just find the person that he wants to give him the answers naturally. And he's wandering through the crowd.
After a couple minutes at the bar, Clarice Monplaisir just she kind of wave at all of you at the bar. She gives a little kiss to the cheek, give a kiss on the cheek, on Rashid's cheek, and then she smiles and then she leaves in the crowd. And Rashid comes over you guys and say, "All right, fellas, so stay put. The initiation will start in a couple minutes, and this is the reason why we're here. We need to witness if everything's in order. Usually the Verbena do their thing well, but sometimes stuff happens, and anything can happen, and we need to be here to witness it and to allow for the protocol." So what Clarice told me is that there's one female tonight that's going to be initiated into the verbena, and so they so that's what we are here about.
So as as Valis, he's not standing with the rest of you, but he does hear Rashid. But instead of Rashid's face, instead of Rashid, he actually sees Ariset. He sees her half turned, and he hears her voice, and all that she says to him is, "Come find me, Valis. Find me." And so Valis is pushing his way through the crowd and following Rashid.
Aline, in your
Yep.
dream realm, you hear a familiar voice that you've heard before, saying, come find me.
And he follows that string of fate that he's been blessed with by birth, and he finds whatever he needs to find, as if guided by the hands of that wheel that turns forth and spins that tail, as if the fates ordained it themselves.
So as Valis is making his way through the crowd, he smacks directly into Alan, and you hear him, Alan, mumbling under his breath, "Find me, find me, find me."
You hear it too?
What? You mean you hear the voice? You hear her voice?
Yes.
That's not possible. That's not possible.
I've seen her in my dreams.
You've seen her? What did she look like? Tell me what she looked like. And he grabs your collar, not forcefully, but just very firmly and intensely.
There was a woman that was swept into a vortex.
Yes.
And then she's wandering around in some ruins.
She's still alive. This can't be real. This. I thought it was all just in my imagination. I can't believe it's real. Tell me where she was. Tell me what you saw.
Well, there was a lot of moss, and the whole place was falling apart. As if, I don't know, it looked old, and something, I don't know, went through it. It looked as if, I don't know, it was either a battle or some hurricane went through it, because everything wasn't where it's supposed to be, and she kept on wandering there.
But she's all right. You saw her. She's not hurt. She's safe.
Ish. I'm not sure for how long, because she keeps on saying, find me, find me.
Yes. I can't believe this is happening. Then it was real. All of it was real. Professor Gallagher knew. He knew all of it. And I must find her. Yes, this is what I must do. You must help me. Help me find her. What is your name again?
I'm Aline.
Aline. Yes, I remember you from the meeting. I'm Valis. I thank you very much for this information.
Warning, Master. Warning. This man is emanating extreme fluctuations. He may be very dangerous.
Let's see. Observe the situation. And give me more parameters. I need to know what I'm dealing with.
I am your servant. And you hear the wee chirping noises that computer towers make when they're working hard.
Yeah. Give me that data! Whoa! But yes, in the real world, he's telling Valis, yeah, I'm not sure where the hands of fate may guide me, but I'm sure that at one point I know where this person is. And no, it's so strange. She keeps on saying, "Find me and find me."
She's lost, but she's safe. And we will find her, Alan. We will. You will help me. This is excellent. And Valis puts his arm around you, almost the way that a drunk person would. And as you continue walking through the crowd, he seems to think of you now as his new best friend. And he's just rambling. He's just speaking nonsense, but it's not harmful. It's just very relaxed, drunken nonsense.
Master, the result of the scans are in, and the data is inconclusive. The man is clearly mentally unstable, but he seems to bear no ill will towards yourself.
Mm, we must observe this situation further, test a few new data and parameters to actually determine how this outcome will turn up.
There is
Keep me
much
posted.
opportunity for experimentation.
Indeed, indeed. You know me so well. He grins to her in his armchair and then continues dotting some calculations there, trying to figure out a sort of pattern, a certain interesting, interesting. And in the real world, yeah, they're just wandering around through the crowd, trying to figure out where the sound of the voice is coming from. And you can see that inside of his head, he's jotting down another equation, starting to form another thought, another sensation, trying to pierce through the veil that is between the worlds, trying to see sight beyond sight, mind beyond the mind, to see exactly who is here with us besides the humans, who is here with us besides everyone here. So, yeah, Spirit 1, Spirit Sight.
Yeah, highest fear plus 3.
Yep. So, if I remember correctly, that would be Spirit 1. So, yep, 3 successes.
Nice.
And I'm putting 1 into effect and 2 into duration, so it lasts the whole scene.
All right. You succeeded, so I'm listening.
He is looking and examining what are the spirits here? Who are there? Besides he's looking more and more curious because he sees all the sound spirits that are dancing and more vibrant, all of the spirits that can found the color. He sees the chimera that get out from the people's dreams and imaginations, how they touch and turn and dance alongside the human that they are paired, and the dreams that are emanating, that are creating them to making them real, making all that is here more vibrant, more colorful, as if this is a painting made by one of those very impressionistic painters that use a lot of colors and pastels, and uh, he's looking through all of that vibrant color to find where is this voice? Where does this voice calls to him? Where? From where?
And as you look around, you see the red lasers that are bouncing around inside the room. They all attenuate on a single point, and they burn that point in a giant red glowing ball that seems to expand outward and outward and outward. And inside the glowing red ball, you see
you as you you see the red ball expand, and at the middle in the and the thing is that this ball expand, but it keeps on getting bigger, and it kind of covers all the room, and at the same time the music reach a climax as the red ball expand, and then it covers the whole room, and then the music goes boom. There's a big boom, and the red light just slows down, and everybody in the room just slow motion, go in a slow motion, and then stop like statues, except for 8 people. 4 men, 4 women. One of these is Clarice that you've met at the bar, and they are dancing in the middle of the crowd. But in the middle of the crowd, where the red ball was, where the laser were pointing, there's a room, there's space that has been created among the people, among the sleepers, and the sleepers are just stopped, fixed in the middle of the place. The whole place, everybody's just like statues. And then the red light emanating from the ball, everybody's inside that big red ball. And in the middle of that circle that has been created at the center of the dance floor, these 8 individuals are dancing. 4 female, 1 is Clarice, and 4 men. And they are having this choreography in circles, and they make some sounds with their mouth, and they're using their bellies and their diaphragm to create these weird humming sounds. And we can still hear the music, resonating outside of the red, this red sphere, but in the middle of the dance floor, they're having these choreographies, and they do really precise movement that seems a little bit like African dance, where they jump and they touch the ground and they come back and they slap their hand together on the ground, going together at the same times, and really, really, really good choreography. Really, everybody's in work, in unity, perfectly done. There is in the middle of the crowd, in the middle of the statue, something is moving, and you see someone, a girl. She's about 19, 20-year-old max, really young. She's naked, and she has red that looks like blood ends that has been like marks that are creating these weird Kabbalistic symbols that looks really pagan all over her body. And she slowly walks like a sleepwalker toward the crowd, like in the middle of the crowd, and everybody sees this. Rashid is, getting closer to the middle of the dance floor. Jessica is seeing this, and she's grabbing Steven's hand, and they walk toward this.
And as the woman walks forward, you see the vines that have been hanging from the ceiling. They slowly begin to reach towards her like fingers. They float up towards her, and then they stretch out and grow and begin to wrap around her, coiling around her arms, her neck, her face, and they begin squeezing and pulling her tighter, lifting her from the ground.
Lifting her from the ground, and then making a rotation like that, and she's becoming parallel to the ground, and they transport her to the middle of the dance floor, in the middle of the choreography where the dancers are dancing around, boom, boom, and then she's kind of floating in the air, suspended by the vines, and the vines are going, so some of the vines are suspended from the ceiling, making her elevated, and some of the other vines are going under, creating this kind of beds of leaves kind of thing, and she's becoming the center of the room, and she's there, and everybody's and these 8 individuals are dancing around her, Clarice among them. Rashid is getting, is seeing all of you, and he's kind of like waving his hand for everybody to gather near him, And for whoever is next to him, he's saying, as everybody gets closer, he says, "See, this is the initiation rite we were talking about. So we need to witness if everything is being done according to the protocol." And basically, is that the idea that no sleepers should seize it, no sleeper should be aware of all the situation, and also that if the awakening in the initiation doesn't is not going well, or depending on the situation of the individuals, we need to see how we're gonna deal about that, and this is the reason why we're here. So let's have a look and find out. Are you guys okay? I haven't seen much of you during the night. He's asking, and as he asked that, like a couple feet, just in front of you, there is this dance going on with the vines and everything, and the whole room is covered with this red big spherical thing. And and there's no music right now, just the sound of their feet stumping the ground and their humming coming from their belly.
Eric is just standing there looking at this whole scene, and he says, is this according to protocol? Is this supposed to be happening?
So far, everything is this is a really verbena. This is verbena to the fullest. Yes, everything is looking good.
This is looking good.
Yes, this is. I've seen this kind of initiation before. She's probably already awakened, although this just by what I see. Yes.
She's not going to be sacrificed or anything.
Well, no, not really. Not what I not from what I see. Not from what I mean, verbena don't do the sacrifices like that, or I mean, depending on not from what I know. Actually, I don't think so.
Isn't there like a pamphlet or something?
What have you said? What did you say? I'm sorry, I missed you.
Nothing.
Seriously.
As Stephen watches, he takes a moment to center himself and opens up his senses one by one. He breathes slowly and meditates as his master taught him, looking for the signs of the energy of their bodies and the energy of their minds, and of course the energy that powers both, the fundamental energy of the life stream. And as he fully opens his senses and his mind to the world around him, the humming music ceases to be music, as it's when we notice the difference between the notes and the order in which they follow each other that we perceive the music. So in not perceiving these things, Stephen ceases to hear the music and merely experiences it note after note. Same with our dance. He doesn't see a succession of postures, but one posture after another are things that he sees. Sights are seen, but Stephen's consciousness is not there to record them. And instead his mind is open to all these different energies. So I'm hoping to combine prime life and mind in this state of openness Stephen is creating to the better absorb and learn about the display in front of him.
Highest sphere plus 3.
Soon. Two successes. So Stephen sees the energy of their bodies come alive as globular green bubbles like the music, filling up the position where their bodies stand. But around their heads there's a clear, white, almost blue light that shines out, which is the energy of their minds. And of course, the whole room vibrates with far more of the primal energy than any that he's ever seen anywhere. And the lines of its crystal, which fills the air, are all pointing towards the central stage, the central dance, the central ritual. And the lights reflect off these crystalline edges, all pointing in the same direction, so that it's almost like we're all within a giant green crystal. But how does the ritual progress?
As the ritual progresses, after a couple minutes, the dancing is going on. The body, the vines looks like they're breathing. So the body is always moving like that. She looks like she's asleep. She doesn't make any sound. She doesn't move, naked. And they're dancing and dancing, and they do the things, and the dances becomes like duo, and they flip themselves over and stuff. And after and all of a sudden, we hear, "Hey, what the fuck is going on? Hey, what's going on, everybody?" And then there's a girl, like she's like shaking someone, "Wake up!" And she's like crying and screaming, "What's going on? Wake up!" And then she's shaking her friend, but the friend is like a statue, and the statue falls and explode like if someone was frozen with cryo NO2 thing, and she just breaks on the ground. And she's like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" And she's trying to grab the pieces of her friend that just broke on the dance floor. And some of the pieces, it's not really far from you guys, so some of the pieces are just rolling toward your feet.
What the fuck, Rashid? What the fuck? Is this supposed to happen?
Rashid is like, "Oh God, the DJ was supposed to do his job tonight. Ah, damn it!" And it's just, he's like, Clarice, and then everybody stops dancing, and then you hear in the back, like the girl's like, "What the fuck is going on? Wake up! Why is everybody's not moving? What's up with all that?" And then she's running towards you guys, and then she stops, and she sees like the 8th dancer looking at her, and like they all have a sheer surprise expression on their face. Clarice is looking at the DJ over her shoulder on the suspended platform like that. She's just like asking like, and the DJ on the top of the platform is looking down over the turntables, and he's like, and then the girl, she's dressed, she's all in sweat. She's been dancing all night. She has a light stick around her neck. She has a purse in her hand. She's on high heels, short skirt. She has some bling blau, and she's been crying. So the makeup around her eyes is just leaking on her face like that, and her red lipstick is just all over the place. And she looks like a sad clown under the rain. And she's crying, and her hair is all messy, and she's walking, stumbling on her, on her high heels, like she looks super small on 2 big high heels thing. And she's walking, she's crying, and then she sees you, and then she looks, and she notices the naked girl covered with blood on the thing, and she goes, "Oh my God!" And then she turns around, "You guys are freaks, you bunch of freaks!" And she turns again toward the exit, but doing so, she stumbles on people, and people start falling like dominoes.
Oh no!
And they break on the floor. Half people breaking on the floor, and she's crying, and she's trying to run, but the pieces of the people are creating slippery floor. And she slips and she falls on her back, the high heels in the air, the purse going in the air, the purse open, and the content of the purse pennies, corn, makeup, cell phone in the air, and everything falls on the ground, and she slides in the pieces.
So you hear a voice coming from nowhere, and it's one of the verbena, and it's a deep booming voice, and it says, "And now you will witness the resurrection of life." And you see all the shattered pieces that are spilled around like crystal begin to coalesce and begin to gather into little clumps, into little diamond clumps. They begin to grow back together and begin to stretch upwards little by little like a 3D printed object. And they come back together, and all the people begin to reform back into the positions they were before they shattered.
Rashid starts running. He makes a sign like to one of the verbena men, and then he said to come with me, and then they run. They grab the girl, they lift her up, they bring her in the middle of the dance floor, they throw her on the ground, and just don't move. One of the verbena is holding her on the ground, and Rashid is looking at Clarice, and he's like, "Okay, now you know what we're supposed to do now with this. According to protocol, she's not supposed to have seen anything of this. So what do you suggest?" And he's asking this to Clarice, and Clarice is looking at him, and he's like, but it's nobody's fault. We're not supposed to, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And you know it, Rashid. I'm not doing this. And Rashid says, "There's no other way around it. Somebody got to do it." And then he put his hand in his pocket, and there is and as the hand is coming out of the pocket like this, there's a scimitar, a golden scimitar that starts to come out of his pocket.
Stephen makes ready to disarm him if it looks like he's going to kill this woman.
Yeah, as soon as I see that blade, Eric starts running towards the middle of the floor. He says, "You're not killing anyone!"
Rashid, Alin tries to be like, isn't there a simpler way, like erasing her memories?
And Valis is like, "It's okay. We're all dead anyways. We're all of us. We're all dead."
Rashid turns around and say, "There is no way around it.
It's not going to happen, Rashid.
When a sleeper is awakened when it's not supposed to, the protocol mentioned it needs to be eliminated. That's the Council of the Nine."
Fuck your protocol.
And
Stephen,
then he says, he's looking at you and he says, "I'm just applying the rule, my friend.
fuck your rule.
The ways of the council are bigger than ours."
If you lift that blade, I'll put you down.
He smiles, he looks at you and says, I'm sorry, Stephen, I don't think so." And then he brings the blade up like that.
Stephen fucking cracks his arm to make him drop it.
All right, so
And at the same time, Eric is running across the floor. He slides on the floor and he lands on top of her with his hands up in between her and the blade.
Nice.
all right.
And Alin starts doing something, as if he puts his hand forward and he's saying something, but he's not saying anything. Like, it's unintelligible to anyone there, but in his realm, he's putting his hand straight through one of the screens, especially the one that is upon that young lady, and he is starting to bring her into one of the realms, trying to jump her from, anywhere but this reality. He's trying to switch her reality to another one. So he's making her sidestep without her permission. Oh god.
Played enough werewolf to know where this is going.
All right.
Yeah,
So
this is Spirit 3.
all right. So let's go one after the other. So let's start with everything's gonna happen at the same time. So
Yep.
give me a brawl plus strength. Brawl plus dexterity. What's your name? Colin, please give me brawl plus dexterity.
Okay. Not martial arts then, no.
It's the same thing. You can do martial art as well.
Okay. Okay, difficulty.
It's versus roll.
Right.
Difficulty
I
6.
have a 10, a 10, and a 9.
All right. So I'm listening to you. Meanwhile, Flavio, give me highest sphere plus 3. And add yourself, give yourself a +1 for that.
Yeah, spending 1 will point power. And yeah, you said the +1 difficulty?
Yeah.
So high sphere, so it's diff 7 plus 1 willpower point spent, so that's 2 successes to switch her to the nearest dimension that I could think of, which is the penumbra. So 2 successes to shift her dimension towards the penumbra. So I'm making her sidestep, not me. So.
All right. So let me know, Colin, what's up? So he left the scimitar in the air like that, as Eric slides on the ground to locate himself in between the blade and the girl.
All right. Stephen raises a hand to Rashid's hand to stop him bringing the blade down, and moves around behind him and brings his other hand up to rest over the handle as well. So now I'm behind Rashid with both my hands on his wrists, and I'm trying to bend the blade away from him and preventing him from bringing it down.
So Rashid feels you doing that. So he sees at the same time that the girl just disappeared. So he dropped the blade, which makes you fall on the ground. In a really swift manner, he turns around and just ram you like that with his hand, but without touching you. And there is like a force, like just a pressure, like the air is becoming warm around you and creating this compact mass of hair between his hand and your chest, and it just pushes you across the dance floor as you ram by a couple of statues that falls on the ground and break in pieces.
Shit.
Give yourself 3 bruises, which you can soak if you want to.
Sound.
Rashid turns around and says, listen, this is protocol. This is not what I want to do. This is my responsibility. I have to do this. And who did this? and he's pointing at the girl who's not there. He said, "Who did this? Where is she? Bring her back."
So I'm still laying on the floor. Eric is with his hands up, says, "No one's gonna get killed here. No one's gonna get killed. I don't know where she's at. I don't know what happened. All I know is no one's getting killed here because of this."
He's turning around. He's coming next to you, and he's looking at you. He has a really kind expression on his face, but it's a really serious look. So it's not a mean look. It's a kind look, but it's a serious one. And he's like, "You're no one to decide this, Eric. Do you understand? You're no one to decide this. This is a really important." So
Well, I beg to differ.
So who did this? Bring her back. Bring her back, or worst is gonna happen to you. I'm telling you.
Do you expect anybody to listen to you? You're a fucking machete-wielding lunatic.
He says, all right. Listen, no more scimitar.
Or any other weapons you have hidden up your sleeve.
Listen, I gotta tell you this. If we don't deal with this situation right now, and we don't make it happen right now, I'm gonna have to deal with all of you at the same time. And I'm telling you this. I don't want to do anything like that. This is not my kind. This is not what I'm doing. There is something important going on, and no sleeper shall awake like this. This is too much of a traumatism. And you can't even understand the damage she's been suffering right now. And for that fool, and listen to me clearly, that fool who sent her to another place where you make her at, you're dealing even more damages to her than my scimitar would have done. So bring her back before she's not even before she's gone forever.
If this was such an important thing, if this wasn't such an important thing, why would you play like this? Why would you go into a public place like this? Why not just go off into a field somewhere? Why would you want to play with all of these sleepers, as you like to call them?
At this moment, Clarice intervenes. She says, "Hey, calm down, everybody. Please. Listen, we come to these places because our initiation is part of a process of it's a happy thing. It's not a bad thing.
This is a happy thing.
We need to have a party. We need to have music. We need to gather together with people around, and all these people here, all these sleep. I don't know why you don't like them, but all these sleepers here, they bring good energy to this. So we use that energy for the initiation right now. This happens sometimes. It's not supposed to happen, but it happens. We need to deal with this. We cannot just erase a mind that has been awakened by force like that. This is not the way it works. It's not an easy thing like you guys think it's easy. We can just do whatever we want. This person is traumatized and can do a lot of damage to herself and to others. So we need to take care of business. And this is just protocol. This is just protocol.
Well, fuck your protocol.
Fuck your protocol. Stephen picks himself up.
She turns around.
Starts walking out.
Rashid is you hear Rashid's voice in the back saying, "Hey, Stephen."
Stephen turns round but says nothing.
"Make no mistake, my friend. If you leave this door, You shall never come back.
Come back to this? I can do without it. And Stephen leaves.
Jessica sees you leaving. She's like, Steven, wait, what's going on here? And she's following you, Steven.
These people are dangerous. You should get out of here. You should all get out of here.
Well, I understand, but I mean, remember what they say. There's worse out there. I mean, imagine if you think this is mean. We don't know what's happening to that girl, right?
Who was it who told you there was worse out there?
I agree with
these
you.
cronies.
I agree with you, Stephen. What I'm saying. I mean, I never want to see that blade again. But there's something going on, and I'm gonna. What you want to do?
Steven, are you really just gonna walk away like a coward? That's just typical. That's just like you. I mean, show me something different for a change. You're so pathetic.
Stephen would like to have the balls to leave and go out on his own and figure things out for himself. But he finds a convenient excuse to stay, and he calls it bravery to himself. But his staying is cowardice, though he doesn't admit this to himself.
That's more like it. You see? I knew you had it in you the whole time.
Okay, Jessica, I'll stay and make sure you're safe, but let's not stay here any longer than we have to.
Nah, I agree with you. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. And then she grabs your arm, and then she kind of pull you out.
He's rather befuddled and has kind of mixed feelings about that, but he allows himself to be pulled out.
Can't we just do something like? Can't we just?
Ahead,
Can't we just dope her and make her think that she was hallucinating?
Rashid is looking at you. He's like, Eric, be honest with me. With all these things you've seen tonight, with all of the stuff happening, if I drug you and I tell you it was just a dream, would you be convinced? Would you not be dreaming about that every night, crazy over a month?
Better to be dreaming about it than to be dead.
Sometimes you wish you'd be dead, my friend. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And then he's, slowly walking back. He's looking at everybody. He's like, listen, just an idea, it's just a construct. So we have all night. So to that fool who's playing with his powers, make that girl disappear. And he's looking at you guys because he knows that it's not the Verbena. So that fool who I brought here with me tonight, thinking that he was worthy, make that girl disappear like that, sending her somewhere even worse than here. Bring her back before it's too late.
Aline, in a fit of panic within his dream realm, he's thinking, okay, how did I do that? running the calculations on trying to figure out exactly how the fuck did he just think of doing that, because it's like, uh, uh, the fuck, oh shit, how did I do that, how did I do that, how did I do that? He's running all of the mathematical proceedings, that's why he was so quiet in the real world. Because he's like, okay, I thought of something, and he's still thinking, okay, how did I do that? 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 So that's why he wasn't saying anything. He's trying to, oh, I think I did something like, and he puts out a hand in the real world on thin air and tries to bring something out of it. All the while speaking something, but no sound is heard. And he tries to repeat the motion that he just did before, putting the hand towards the monitor and pulling out the idea, the expression of that screaming girl that has been lost in a world filled with ideas and concepts, and is trying to drag her back from the webs, back through the gauntlet, back through reality and into this one. So he's trying to repeat the sidestepping. Yay. Spirit 3. Give me a difficulty.
Same thing, +1.
Okay, spending 1 willpower point. Oh my god, 4 successes! So with the most ease of motion, he goes through all the spider webs that exist throughout the reality that comprise the gauntlet. He reaches out towards it and pulls her through all of the divide that represents the borderline between realms, through the whole spectrum of light and matter, and a girl materializes in front of his arm.
You end up you notice that what you had grabbed was her ponytail.
Okay, so yeah.
So you've been dragging her by her hair back through.
Oops, sorry. Don't know how I did that.
As she gets out of the realm and come back into this one, as soon as her mouth gets in, she starts screaming, "Ah! Leave me alone! What's going on? What's going on?" And she's crying and screaming, and then when she kind of falls on the ground and she slips a little bit, two of the Verbena men, they grab her, they bring her to her knees, and they and she said, she keeps screaming, "Let me go, let me go, I don't know what's going on, what's happening with this, who are you people?" And she's just like crying all that. And Clarice, yes?
Can I just ask to clarify? Stephen and Jessica have left, correct?
Don't you tell me.
Sorry?
I don't know you tell me.
You're really breaking up there.
I said, I don't know. You tell me if you left.
Yeah, I think we did. Sorry, carry on. I
He
think we
just
did.
said, "You tell us," is all.
So Clarice, at this moment, she comes to next to the girl, and she put her hand on her shoulder, said, "Shh, calm down, calm down, calm down." And she looks at Rashid, and she said, "I told you I'm not doing this, so just get it on with it." And so Rashid grabs the scimitar slowly walks toward the girl.
As soon as he picks up the scimitar, I start walking towards her to put myself in between them.
He's looking at you. He has the scimitar like that in front of him. There is all kinds of Kabbalistic symbol engraved in the gold blade. Move, Eric. It's not your concern. It's a disciple concern. And you're not a disciple.
I'm just still standing there. I have my hands up. I'm not going to just stand here as you try to kill someone.
Rashid is looking at the two of the Verbena men, and he's making like a head movement like this. And then the two of the men, like, you know, one is medium size, the other one is kind of big. They come toward you. They're dressed in celebration clothes that matches the Clarice clothing. So they have like linen sleeveless shirt, really wide, with all kinds of symbols written on them. They are barefoot. They have linen pants, really wide as well. And one of them is has a shaved head with earrings, and the other one is he has long hair with a ponytail in the back. They come around. They say, "Move, move. Don't stay in the way. It's not worth it."
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I think it's better just to blindly look away if someone's going to get murdered by some psychopath with a scimitar.
So about this time, the girl, she's shouting, not shouting, she's just like rambling hysterically. Something about castles and wandering through castles, and Valis hears this and he remembers what Alan said, and he rushes forward past you and he grabs her and he's like shaking her. What? Tell me where you were. Did you see her? Did you see Erisette? Did you see her? Where were you?
I was running. There was some. I've heard some noises, and there was like a castle, and there was like some stairs. It was like a maze. It was going in all direction, and it was in the sky. It was some cloud, and I couldn't see, and I don't know exactly. There was some. I heard some people talking and chanting in the back, but it's. I don't know. It went too fast, and I was scared.
It's we can't harm this woman. Valis says to Rashid, we need her. I need her. Well, tell me what you want. What do you want? What can we give you?
Valis, my friend, it's not about what I want. It's about what the council wants. I need to apply protocol. This is the rule. This is the rule of the council. The traditions are bigger than us. I told you already. That's all I got to say. What am I supposed to do? I'm not going to lie to my superior. I'm not going to lie to my superior. And if you want to get in the way, same fate will happen to you. There's nothing we can do. We can talk about this after. Maybe there's something we can figure out after.
Figure out? You're just gonna kill her. What is there to figure out? Nothing's gonna be left of her to figure out. This isn't an equation. This isn't a problem with a solution, because you're going to end her.
Rashid turns around. He looks at the two Verbena. The two Verbena grabs Eric by the shoulder, and they trying to move him away.
as soon as they grab me, I just reach up with my hands and I'm just focusing. I just grab onto some of the textures of the fabric that's around me, and I'm trying to shift probability so that my body shifts out of the way of their hands before they can actually reach me.
All right. And, so are you doing something special in that sense? I'm not sure if I understand you right.
Well, I'm going to adjust entropy to try to change the probability of them actually being able to grab me.
All right. So that's the highest sphere plus 3.
So I roll. So what do I roll?
You roll your highest sphere, entropy. You roll that. Plus.
So that's 2.
You add it there.
You roll your arete.
You roll.
I'm sorry. You roll arete. Yeah.
Okay.
That was just for calculating difficulty. Sorry for the confusion. Sphere plus 3.
So I'm just going to roll 2. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So 1 success.
Nice.
I'm listening.
Okay, so as they come in and reach towards me, my fingers, I just grab fabrics like I'm wrestling against the fabric of the universe and everything that's tangled and pulling around me. It's just like everything just kind of shifts and warps. So as their hands come towards me, the world just kind of shifts as like I'm pushing away from them as their hand is coming towards me, and they're not able to grab me in time.
They trying to grab, as soon as they trying to reach you, it's like they reaching into nothingness. It's just whoop, whoop. It's worse than if you were full of oil and sleepy. It's just like they trying to grab, but there's nothing there.
It's almost like their entire depth perception has changed. Just like they think something is at one depth, like you're underwater and you're looking through goggles and you think something is some distance, but it's actually much farther away. So they're trying to grab at something, but it's like confusing.
So while they're preoccupied with that, Avalis is going to grab the girls by the wrist and he's going to pull her underneath them and out.
Well, the 2 other Verbena are already holding her to the ground.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So Rashid says, I don't want to have to do this, fellas. It's just as bad as you guys want to save that girl. But I mean, I don't want to. I'm not going to go against my what I believe in, and I'm sure this girl, she's going to be better than if she has to go through all this. Who's going to take care of her? She doesn't know what she's going to have to deal with.
You and your order did it to her. You can take care of her.
You want me to take care of her? I cannot take care of her. I don't know her. I don't know who is she. Who is she? She's not a university student. She's not part of the program. We're not. I mean, I don't know who she is. I have to take care of you guys. I have to take care of my own. She's not part of her own. The wrong place at the wrong time, my friends.
As soon as you guys decide to start playing here with all these people in plain sight and trying to warp the reality and change things with them in plain sight to try to stick your nose up at them, acting like you're so superior to them, playing with everything, playing with everyone. That's the moment you made them part of your concern.
We can go back. We can take her back to where she was with the castles. She needn't be a part of this reality. We can simply remove her and she won't be a problem for you.
Clarice says, well, Rashid, he has a point. If she's in the other realm, if they are afraid of the blade, Valid.
You're
You
cutting
want
out. You're cutting out again. Sorry.
He said, what are you talking about? I'm gonna send that girl into another realm. You think that's been the blade? I don't mind. As she just needs to get out. She's out of the realm. I do think it's protocol. So if you're willing to send that poor girl who doesn't know nothing about nothing alone, I wonder who's the most sadistic here.
But she won't be
But
alone.
hey,
She won't be alone. There's another person there for her, and we can find her.
he put his hand at the end of the blade, like that. He goes, put the blade in his pocket. Fellas, I'm done with this. Go along. Just send her in the other realm you talking about. And then he turns around to Clarice. He says, "Shut that thing off. I'm out of here." And then he walks a little bit and he, you know, the Verbena people are looking at each other like a little surprised, a little unconvinced. And Clarice says, "Listen, fellas, no hard feelings, right? No, just go along with it. We're gonna know this. She left the realm, and everything's gonna be fine. Everybody can go back to their life."
Everyone except this girl.
Virginity tonight. There's nothing we can do about it. You can't go back. She can't go back. The Verbena people, they stick together. They're watching, and so who's gonna do this? And they turn around and they look at Aline, and
Aline's still trying to figure out what's happening, because I keep on. He's trying to understand, but it's like. So. He's confused right now. He's not sure what he did, how he did it. It's just like an instinctual thing that he attempted, so he's still looking at his hand that is filled with spider webs. And he's just doesn't understand what's happening. So he's like, he doesn't understand.
Can't you just put her back?
Clarice,
I just saw you. You put her. You made her disappear. Why can't you just send her back? You have the power. You just need to do it again.
Clarice comes next to you and says, he's right. He's right. You just have to do it again. You did it so well. I saw you.
I'm not sure how I did it. I don't know what I'm doing.
Are you trying to say it was an accident? You trying to say that you just did it without even meaning to? You don't know how you did it.
Hold on, I need a drink, so I need to focus a bit. Because this is just a whole rush of emotions that I just don't know what I did. Everything happened so fast, as if
Mm.
Please, master, don't drink that drink. I can assist you with the procedure, but please, no more alcohol. And you
Oh.
get a a feed, a visual feed on your screen of ones and zeros, various snippets of computer code, and as they scroll faster than any normal person could read them up and past the screen, you see basically a readout of the procedure that you followed on your previous two performances of this procedure. When you transported the girl before, Daisy was able to gather information about that, and now you see that coming up on your internal screen.
Ah. Oh. Shit. I said. Oh, okay. Hmm. I'm going to do a perception lucid dreaming to recreate those two monitors that I just destroyed. 2 successes. Nice. So those 2 monitors are back where they were. And then in the real world, after, it took a few seconds because he's trying to internalize everything.
So up on the monitor, you see a castle that's like towers and towers, hundreds of stories high, and it teeters above some mist, and there are rocks and crumbling bits that are falling, almost endlessly crumbling, like an endless avalanche of stones crumbling off the tower. And you look around and you see there are more castles that stretch out as far as the eye can see in this ruined place.
And you can see it's as if in the real world his eyes grow dead. And whom am I targeting right now? Out of character.
The girl that they were going to kill.
Ah, okay. So basically, I'm putting one hand on that girl's shoulder, and in the mezzanine, I'm putting my punch through one of the monitors, and you can hear an inaudible mumbling. Oh, fuck me running. Spending another willpower point.
Ooh.
Yes, 1 success. Because I spent that willpower point. I know the difficulty and I know the consequences of doing this repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
So, yay! You can see her after a few moments just fading out, turning into a ephemera.
As she begins to fade, you see Valis jump forward and try to hug onto her.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Time out. Valis.
Yep.
Valis. Give me dexterity and awareness.
Okay, just 1 sec. Let me look that up.
And give me difficulty 9, and I want 2 successes.
Okay, holy shit. You said dexterity plus awareness?
Yes.
Oh god, this is not gonna happen.
And
Okay.
and use willpower if you really want it.
Yeah, he's definitely using willpower. That just gives me 1 success, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, you
so
It gives you 1 success, but you need 2.
difficulty 9. Oh my god, this is never gonna happen. Holy shit, 1, 2 successes, baby. Oh yes.
All right. So I'm listening.
Oh shit. I didn't think I was gonna get this. So as her image begins to flicker, Valis leaps forward, and though you see her disappear, they both actually disappear at the same time, and all of a sudden, they're spinning through a black void of nothing. And Valis he's looking her right in the eyes, he's hugging her right in the eyes, and he just looks at her, he has nothing to say, and they just spin and spin and spin into blackness.
Yeah, Aline falls down on the floor, tired, exhausted, because motherfucker had to do sidestepping 3 times, and that's not an easy thing to do. So he's all sweaty and on the floor, as if all the wind has been punched out of him.
And Clarice, meanwhile, she walks slowly toward Eric, and she put her hand on his shoulder, gently. She kneels down to put herself at the same height as him. She looked at him in the eyes with a smile, and a really gentle expression on her face. She said, "Listen, Eric, I know you don't like this. I hear you. And it might seem barbaric, and it might seem difficult and psychotic or sociopathic even. But the life of mages, the life of the magic, it's not an easy one. And no sleepers shall see this, and no sleeper shall be forced in it. And the reason why the traditions have these rules is to avoid these traumatic and to avoid these individuals to become marauders and effendis and loners in this world. And there's no other way around it. Now I understand that it might seem harsh and difficult and cold-blooded even, but I'm telling you, Rashid is not a bad man. He's a good man, and you just need to give some time to get to know him better. He's doing his job, and we all do. And what you've done today is courage, and this is important for a mage. So just want to give you some hope. You know, there's still hope.
Oh, I understand the idea of rules. It's kind of like driving a car. You just can't just get in a car and drive wherever you want, can you? But if you're driving a car, you don't take your fucking car through a children's playground. And he just turns around and starts walking towards the door.
She nods. She stands up as you leave. She turns around. She looks at Rashid, and she gives something like she do something like. And then she turns around. She looks at the other Verbena there. She said something in another language. And then they grab the naked girl on the vine. The two men one of the men put her on their shoulder, and they leave toward another exit on the right.
What the fuck was that? Ow, my head.
Your head might be less painful, Master, if you had not drunk so much alcohol.
Yeah, but what was that thing that I just did by instinct? And why does it...
A simple dimensional transfer, Master.
I can do that?
You have a lot of potential. It's more a matter of discovering your capabilities than your limitations.
Cool. What's this buzzing sound that it's as if a feedback is going on in the background after I did it 3 times?
I am defragmenting your neural cortex.
Could you stop? It's kind of hurting me.
Oh, it's completely necessary, I assure you. But again, would be less painful without the alcohol.
I'm going to sleep it off. And I'm going to talk to Rashid about what the fuck is going on, because that thing I can't explain it right now.
Rashid is already walking towards you, and he has his hand. He's giving you his hand like that to help you stand up. And
He gives the hand to get
as
up.
he helps you stand up, he says, "That's quite a feat you have there, my friend. I saw you're powerful with the spirit realm. I see you manipulating the sphere quite easily. I haven't seen that in a long time."
Spirit. I don't understand. It's like, what the hell did I just do? Because I imagined something in one place and doing something else in the other, and the girl just disappeared and reappeared and disappeared again, and then Valis went, and what did I do?
While you're saying all this, Rashid is looking away toward Eric, who is leaving the dance floor, and yell, "Eric! Eric! I know you're hungry. I know you're angry against me. But give me a chance. I'll show you better. I'll prove myself to you."
As he's calling out to me, I stop. I don't turn around, but I just kind of shift my head so he can just see the side of it. So I'm just like looking back towards that way. Then after he's finished talking, I just turn my head back and continue walking in the direction of the door.
Right. So meanwhile, Jessica and Steven, you guys are climbing up the long corridor that you guys walk, so you guys are ascending it toward the exit. It's completely empty. There's nobody. As you arrive at the gate where the jacket are, where the lady with the jackets are, no, there's nobody in there. So as you guys get inside, use your ticket, grab your coat, and as you get out of the after hour on the street is empty, except for this one car parking right in front of the entrance. All the lights are shut in the street. There's no sound whatsoever. There's nothing. You hear the siren of a police car really, really, really far in the distance. And there is an old Buick, really old, brownish, 1988, really squarish Buick, really bad, really big, great condition, shining a little. And on the hood, with his arm crossed like that, there's an old man, like that looks like this. He's wearing a long beige trench coat. And there's another man sitting in the car, but it's just a shadow because it's too dark to see inside. As you guys come out of the after hours, he looks at you. He shows a police badge. He says, "Hey, Steven, I'm Detective Cooper. Really nice to meet you." And this will be all for today. Thank you very much for watching. See you in 2 weeks.